North San Juan. It's right below Allegheny, and it's south of Downeyville off Highway 49. Now, I stopped here because that used to be just a wicked bar. You go in there, this is where you stop. When we came up gold mining back in the 70s and early 80s, and we still do a little bit, this place was a one-horse town with a bar and a little, it wasn't a hand-cranked gas station, but it was a small gas station. And there's a cemetery right back here, North San Juan. This is downtown, right there. That's downtown, right there. Look at that building over there, just as it was in the 1800s. Anyway, so we have been coming up here since when I got out of the service, met some people. You coming? I got it. And his father worked for the geographical, geology, whatever. He assayed mines. And he told my buddy, he goes, listen, if you guys ever get into gold mining, come up to the Sierra Mining District. And the Sierra Mining District is kind of a triangle between Sierra City and Downeyville to Allegheny to North San Juan. And then kind of a circle around it. So we've been coming up here for a long time. This is my backyard. Even when we lived in the Bay Area, we'd come up here and gold mine. Let's do a lot of panning. Basically just driving our trucks on dirt roads that hadn't been driven on for 100 years. Sometimes, one time in particular, we built a little bridge to get across the creek. Anyway, we found this cemetery. Now, you know I don't like to walk, but this is... Well, here's the story. My grandmother passed away. And as my aunt was going through her stuff, she found a story, almost 10 pages, written by two different women. So it was my grandmother and her mother. And it describes our journey across the southern or the northern tier of America in covered wagons. And they settled, can you believe it, in North San Juan, right here. And it turns out, on my grandmother's side now, my mother's side, it turns out that we got here in like 1852. They had 9 children in North San Juan right here, and then they left to go to Fresno. But while they were here, they weren't gold miners. They were farmers, orchards and vineyards. And then they left, migrated down into Fresno, which was the big deal then. Always see roses when you come into a cemetery, and nobody would know about this but me. That's what I'm showing you. Where is it? Historic. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. So anyway, in her story, she had these maps. And on the map was this cemetery. And on that map was an X, 2 X's. And she goes, after the family left North San Juan to go down to Fresno to grow grapes, I believe. Well, not grapes, but orchard. She said 2 of our family members were buried here. And that their headstones burnt down during the 80s, 1980s, or excuse me, the 1880s. And they were replaced, this is tough for me, replaced with 2 pillars of brick. And this was written, she wrote this like 40 years ago, so how would she know this? Except that she was here. And so we came up here. I did, my wife did one time too. We walked this whole cemetery, just seeing if we could find, wow, 2 pillars of bricks. You see them? Patty? They're over here. All right. It's gonna be a long one. Take up all my Patty. There they are, I think. But I mean, we're going back. Look at this. 1865. 1865. Where is it? Oh man. Okay, last time I was here was about 10 years ago. I thought they were right. Are they them? I thought they were right over here. Anyway, they don't have a headstone. They don't have a nameplate. And when I went to the Historical Society, everything checked out. All those stories checked out. The names of the family, the birth records. My uncle, I'm going to find these. My uncle was the first person to die in a hard rock mining accident. And his death, according to the newspaper at the time, because the Historical Society looked it up and it was there, that started the legislation to require federally all hard rock mines be timbered. And that guy who died up here and my aunt are buried side by side with nothing but 2 brick pillars. Dave, it's over here. All right, tell you what, save my battery. We'll turn this off and try to find them. That's the story. So coming up here, I had to come to this place and get a picture of it because I don't think I'll ever have the energy to do it again. Holy cow. And it's like 98. All right, talk to you in a bit. Bye. Everything off my phone because it was like real hot. Here it is. There's one pillar without a headstone, without any, sorry, Unc, I don't mean to walk on you. Hello, I'm your nephew. And either that's my uncle or this is my uncle, but either way, this is my aunt. No marks, but it's on the map that my great-grandmother started and my grandmother finished telling us our story of our family. And she said, look for 2 brick pillars without any monuments in the older section of this particular cemetery, because there's a Catholic one on the other side. This is called the Protestant. Look at the age, 1868. And that's about probably right around when the cave-in happened up on the mine. And also she wrote, which headstone was Williams? Right there. She said, we're buried with the Williams because apparently the Williams, the Llewellyns, and the, were they Dolans? Joneses. And us, we're all related. So there's the wife of John E. Williams, Laura E., and that was 1871. She passed away at the age of 44. So in the material my grandmother's left behind, she said, look, she gave a map. She said, find the older part of the cemetery, find where a Williams is buried, and you'll probably find two brick pillars, because in those days, a lot of them, the poorer people used wooden headstones, and this place was burnt down 3 times. When the fire came through here, they replaced it. Uncle and aunt. All right, this phone is just so hot. So we're gonna make the long hike back down. I never do this. So this is gonna be a long video, but they all are. Get some popcorn. I watch all you guys' stuff. You know, I watched a 3.5 hour traveling Robert, man. 1.4 million hits on it. I'm gonna head on back down, baby. And there's still people coming up. Huh? These guys are Masonic order. That's Masonic order. Now my wife's grandmother was like Grand Matron for the state of California for the Golden Girls? No. Eastern Star. And this one right behind me was. Now she's a heathen because she married a Catholic. A black class. But she went in.